Hello everybody and welcome back to On Point HQ, and a bit of a follow-up to my last video that I put out. And in that video I was looking at the new plastic Gunfighters set that's been released by Great Escape Games for Dead Man's Hand. Now the upshot of that video was that I absolutely love this kit. I'm going to make no bones about that. It's a fantastic, versatile and thoroughly enjoyable kit to work on. I've enjoyed every minute of putting them together, of painting them, and also kit bashing them, because they're so compatible with other plastic kits as well. It's just, yeah, I think I've run out of superlatives to describe how much I enjoyed putting this kit together. But what I've done is I've completed 3 very small gangs. So one Lawmen gang, one Desperado gang, and the last one is my Cowboy gang. And the plan is to keep these at 5 figures per gang, so for the moment, so that I can start actually getting some games in. I've never actually played Dead Man's Hand before, but having seen battle reports specifically from my good buddy Martin at Seventh Son, and also Travis at Tabletop CP, they've put out some fantastic content around Dead Man's Hand, some really good battle reports. And if you haven't already, go and check out the channels. Fantastic content creators, both of them, and really got me inspired to get involved in Dead Man's Hand. So my plan was to complete the gangs, and then what I'm going to do is go away, obtain or procure some Wild West themed scenery, and then get some dice rolling on Dead Man's Hand. I'm really looking forward to getting some games in. So what I thought I'd do in this video is just show you what I've been up to, but show you the 5 that I originally completed, and also the next 5 that I've done since then. So without further ado, let's have a catch up on these chaps. So these are my Lawmen, and these were the first ones that I put together. So we've got on the left there, we've got the sheriff, and then next to him we have a marshal, closely followed by 2 deputies, and then the chap at the end is what's called an upstanding citizen. He's had enough of all the bad goings on in town, and he's joined the Lawmen. So these were the very first ones that I put together, and these were more of a sort of a testing. I'd never painted, well, I've painted a few sort of Wild West themed figures in the past, but nothing as many as this before. But these were so nice to paint. The sculpts are crisp and detailed, and they just work really well. Let's get a look from the rear there. And the combinations, they really, you're more or less limitless on what you can do with these. Especially what I've done, because I've added bits and pieces from different kits, and I'll show you those more in a second. So that was my first gang. That was the Lawmen. Now in that video I also showed you some I put together but hadn't painted, and these are my Desperados. So as you'll see, if I can get these into focus. So the chap on the left there, he's my, I think he's called a killer. So he's a dual pistol wielding killer, and I wanted him in a greatcoat, so I used a bolt action German greatcoat after receiving a challenge from from James, who watches the podcast each week, who challenged me to make a figure, or kit bash a figure using a bolt action winter German. And James, I think I succeeded, because I really like the look of that. He sort of, when I posted in the Facebook group, I made reference to the fact that it was based on Grifter, the comic book character. He's a comic that I read in my youth. Really cool guy with a big long duster coat and a mask and 2 pistols. So he's based on Grifter. Next to him we have this chap here. Now he is the boss. He is the Desperado boss. So yeah, really nice figure. Great. I really like the pose on that one. Up next we have these 2 chaps here. Now these are both bandits, so these are your sort of your standard level dudes in the bandit gang. Oh, sorry, in the Desperado gang. And we have one armed with a double-barrel shotgun and one armed with a pistol. I just like that guy in the middle. I just love that pose. It's so evocative of the Wild West. And then found at the end here we have a lowlife. So he's not quite a bandit or a killer, but he's just starting off in his life as a desperado. But again, really nice figures to paint. So the only real kit bash on there was this guy at the end, the killer with his dual pistols. Really enjoyable putting him together, and not a lot of time either. Let's have a look from the other side. There we go. Again, I know I keep saying this, but these are such nice figures to paint. I always enjoy painting these. So they were my Desperado gang. So last but not least is my Cowboy gang. And these have had quite a bit of, not of kit bashing, more just very, very simple swaps. So let's get that into focus. This chap at the end here. Now in the game, he's now called, well, he's classed as the man with no name. What you can see is that's not a standard head. That head is from the Imperial Greatsword box by Games Workshop for Fantasy or Age of Sigmar. I had it lying around in one of my bits boxes, and I just thought with the hair it just looked really good. I think it worked really well. And again, with his duster coat and his dual pistols, he really does look a bit of a force to be reckoned with. Next to him there we have the Cowboy leader. He's called a range boss. So I want him to have the waistcoat on, but I want him to be sort of drab and muted like with the rest of them. I think I've succeeded. Again, I really like the pose. He's got that cigar in his mouth as well. And the next one, again, bit of a head swap here. I had the idea of wanting sort of an old grizzled miner or prospector or sort of cowpoke or cowhand in the gang. So I was looking through various bits, boxes and sprues, and I actually found this head. Now this is from the Commonwealth Infantry bolt action set. I think it's a South African. It might be South African. But with the beard and the hat, it just reminded me of a grizzled old prospector. So I really wanted to include the head. And as you can see, they scale really well. So he's just a cowboy. As is this chap here with the very simple shirt and a double-barrel shotgun. He's a cowboy as well. And the guy at the end, again, another head swap, another bolt-action head swap. So this chap here with the cap on, his head is from the plastic USMC box. It looks very, very civilian-looking, and it doesn't look out of place. It actually looks like it should be in the set. Now I've used these heads before when I was kit bashing a Volksturm section from my bolt action German, so I remembered that these heads work really work quite well as civilian heads. And there we go. He's a greenhorn. So that is the Cowboy gang. Just swap them around there. As you can see, I've gone for the same muted and drab colour scheme that I did the first one. I really like the idea of having sort of muted and drab colours for my Dead Man's Hand gang. So they are the three that I've completed so far. So I'm gonna finish with these, but I've got plans to pick up some other boxes. And what I want to try and do is challenge myself into kit bashing some sort of famous cowboys or Wild West themed characters. So I want I want Yul Brynner from Westworld. I also want to try and create Al Swearingen from Deadwood. Just such again an evocative Wild West character. But again, with this kit, I think the limit is just your imagination. They work so well with other different plastic kits. I'm really looking forward to making some more sort of character based models. So there we have it. That's what I've been up to, and my 3 gangs of 5 completed so far. Like I said, the next stage is to pick up some scenery and get some games of Dead Man's Hand going. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments or questions about these or gaming in general, just leave comments down below and I'll certainly respond to all comments and questions. But as always, thanks for watching, do take care, may your dice roll well, and I'll catch you all in the next video. So bye bye for now.